One ought, every day at least, to hear a little song, read a good poem, see a fine picture, and, if it were possible, to speak a few reasonable words. Treat people as if they were what they ought to be, and you help them to become what they are capable of being. In the realm of ideas, everything depends on enthusiasm. In the real world, all rests on perseverance. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Man errs as long as he strives. He who possesses art and science has religion. He who does not possess them needs religion. Character develops itself in the stream of life. Divide and rule, a sound motto, unite and lead, a better one. To think is easy, to act is difficult. To act as one thinks is the most difficult. The greatest thing in this world is not so much where we stand, as in what direction we are moving. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. A man sees in the world what he carries in his heart. He is happiest, be king or peasant, who finds peace in his home. A person hears only what they understand. We are never deceived. We deceive ourselves. A useless life is an early death. Everything is hard before it is easy. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. We must always change, renew, rejuvenate ourselves, otherwise we harden. Daring ideas are like chessmen moved forward. They may be beaten, but they may start a winning game. A person can stand almost anything, except a succession of ordinary days. To rule is easy, to govern difficult. The best government is that which teaches us to govern ourselves. Age merely shows what children we remain. We are shaped and fashioned by what we love. It is not doing the thing we like to do, but liking the thing we have to do that makes life blessed. If you've never eaten while crying, you don't know what life tastes like. It is not the mountain that we conquer, but ourselves. In all things it is better to hope than to despair. Behavior is the mirror in which everyone shows their image. To be loved for what one is, that is the greatest exception. Thinking's more interesting than knowing, but less interesting than looking. None are so hopelessly enslaved as those who falsely believe they are free. Life is the childhood of our immortality. The world remains ever the same. You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. Correction does much, but encouragement does more. Every step of life shows much caution is required. To have more, you must first become more. We are born at the rise of the curtain, and we die with its fall. And every night in the presence of our patrons, we write our new creation. People are so constituted that everybody would rather undertake what they see others do, whether they have an aptitude for it or not. Who is the happiest of men? He who values the merits of others, and in their pleasure takes joy, even as though 'twere his own. A creation of importance can only be produced when its author isolates himself. It is a child of solitude. The decline of literature indicates the decline of a nation. A man's manners are a mirror in which he shows his portrait. The inexpressible is the only thing worth expressing. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. The hardest thing to see is what is in front of your eyes. Nature knows no pause in progress and development, and attaches her curse on all inaction. He is happiest, be he king or peasant, who finds peace in his home. Every day one should at least hear one little song, read one good poem, see one fine painting, and, if possible, speak a few sensible words. A clever man commits no minor blunders. All intelligent thoughts have already been thought. What is necessary is only to try to think them again. There is strong shadow where there is much light. The most exhausting thing in life is being insincere. The first and last thing required of genius is the love of truth. The best government is that which teaches us to govern ourselves. Let everyone sweep in front of his own door, and the whole world will be clean. Life is the childhood of our immortality. Age merely shows what children we remain. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. Character develops itself in the stream of life. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. A noble person attracts noble people and knows how to hold on to them. A man sees in the world what he carries in his heart. Correction does much, but encouragement does more. Divide and rule, a sound motto. Unite and lead, a better one. The person born with a talent they are meant to use will find their greatest happiness in using it. Thinking's more interesting than knowing, but less interesting than looking. To think is easy, to act is difficult. To act as one thinks is the most difficult. We are never deceived. We deceive ourselves. Treat people as if they were what they ought to be, and you help them to become what they are capable of being. All things are only transitory. In the realm of ideas, everything depends on enthusiasm. In the real world, all rests on perseverance. Man is the only creature that refuses to be what he is. Nothing is worth more than this day. Our work is the presentation of our capabilities. The person born with a talent they are meant to use will find their greatest happiness in using it. If I accept you as you are, I will make you worse. However, if I treat you as though you are what you are capable of becoming, I help you become that. The greatest thing in this world is not so much where we are, but in what direction we are moving. What is not started today is never finished tomorrow. To have more, you must first become more. Art is the mediator of the unspeakable. Where there is much light, the shadow is deep. A man's behavior is the index of his mind. To be loved for what one is, that is the greatest exception. The way you see people is the way you treat them. Everyone believes in his youth that the world really began with him. The eternal feminine draws us upward. It is not the object of the fine arts to gratify an itching desire for extraordinary things. Nothing is more terrible than ignorance in action. One cannot develop taste from what is of average quality, but only from the very best. Thinking is easy, acting is difficult, and to put one's thoughts into action is the most difficult thing in the world. The world remains ever the same.